It's time to go Detective Pikachu on Detective Pikachu as we sniff out all the live-action Pokemon in the new trailer. This thing is taking the internet by storm. It took both Gabe and myself by storm, blowing us away. Our anticipation is sky high right now, and so it was super fun to go through and spy all the different Pokemon that are here. Obviously, there are tons of references to specific creatures within the billboards and signage, but we're talking the ones that look like they're puppets, the ones that look like they're just crazy model creations. That's the ones that we have found for you today.
Yeah, Zach, there are way more than people initially thought. So many like little hidden ones here. I think this is going to be fun.
Yes, so we're going to go through. I'll give you the timestamps if you want to go and find them yourself and just to help you know where they're at. At 1 second, we start off as Justice Smith walks into the big city square. We see some Flabébé and some Comfey flying through the sky. As we continue on through this first scene, Dodrio appears around the 3 second mark, and that is when Charmander also makes his first appearance on the scene. This opening little, or I guess big town square has a lot going on. Around 5 seconds, a Fearow flies in from the left, and we're also going to get our first appearance at 6 seconds of a Bouffalant in the center of the frame. From there, you're going to be able to see a Braviary around 7 seconds, 6.5 seconds, standing on what I think is like either just a platform or maybe like a bus stop stand. And then we also have a Venusaur hiding behind some humans on the left side of the screen. So that opening shot, those first 5, 6, 7 seconds, Gabe, are jam-packed.
Yeah, look, a couple of things I want to point out there. That Venusaur is not the only Venusaur we're going to see during the trailer, so keep an eye peeled in a bit. But yeah, that one was like very hidden. Also, Charmander's little flame tail is so cute. I'm all about that. But yeah, seeing how all of these Pokemon are just like all over the place coexisting with these humans who are just walking by like there's nothing weird happening at all establishes this world as a Pokemon world. And it's such a great way to start this trailer.
Yeah, I mentioned it in our review and reaction video, but I love seeing the size differential and just how they relate to the world. So, like, seeing Venusaur wide and low, and then seeing how, like, big the Braviary is. Bouffalant also seeming pretty massive. You got the tiny Flabébé up in the sky. It's a really nice shot, and I love that everyone's just so casual about it, right? They're just like, all these Pokemon walking by. This is a normal day in the big town square. Nobody is even blinking that you have these potentially very dangerous creatures all just coexisting harmoniously.
Yeah, that's cool.
Very nice. Okay, so we move along and we go to the 7 second mark, which is where you'll get your first look at Psyduck, who is just, he's so darn cool. His beak, I mean, just like the difference in texture between his like fuzzy body and then his beak, for some reason that's just tantalizing to my eyeballs.
Zach, when you look up close, those are feathers on Psyduck. Like, it's not the same type of fuzz that Pikachu has going on. That's important to know.
Right.
Also, I just think the pack of like 3 men wearing Squirtle sweaters in the background is really funny.
Well, I just love that even though the Pokemon are real, like there's still like a giant Gengar balloon, a giant Jigglypuff balloon, and as you mentioned, people wearing Squirtle sweaters. So this is like if all of a sudden there's like a giant dog balloon and people were wearing, I mean, I guess that's kind of realistic, right? Animal obsession is definitely a thing.
Yeah.
Animal love, that's a popular topic for shirts and whatnot. Okay, we're gonna move along. We get our little title cards here. We get our first look at Tim and what's going on with his detective dad. There's some dialogue and whatnot. Not a whole lot of Pokemon in the next 15 or so seconds. When we get to his house, there is a ton, and I'm not going to go over everything again because we're focusing on the quote real Pokemon. I do want to point out his sick Rayquaza sticker above his posters. You got a lot going on there. Someone also pointed out a very interesting battle. There is a fight between Articuno and Steelix, which seems like an odd battle. And he's looking, he wanted to be a trainer. Didn't quite work out for him. So let's continue along. We see more about Justice, more about him, and then Pikachu is going to make his first appearance fully, not hidden or scampering about, but fully around the 44 second mark, it seems like, around there. That's when Ryan Reynolds as Detective Pikachu first says hello. Say hello, Pikachu, Gabe. Be polite here.
Hello, Pikachu. How are you today?
Thanks. And you're going to get a ton of Pikachu in so many of the subsequent frames, so I'm not going to point him out every time. We'll then move to the 65-second mark, 1 minute 5 seconds, and we're starting to see some more unique Pokemon. We've got some Emolga sitting up, enjoying themselves on the roofs of this marketplace. There's also a few Joltics. This one's tough to spot, but if you zoom in and look very carefully, on the right-hand side of your screen, same frame, same time, you'll see a few of them sitting there looking real little, but those are definitely Joltik. There also is an Audino hiding behind this woman in her long coat. I would say it is at the 65. Well, it's at the 65-second mark, but it's probably most visible at the 66-second mark. You can just sort of see the pink shoulders. At first, I was like, is that just like someone with a stuffed animal? But it definitely looks like it's an Audino. There is another Venusaur hiding in the background around here that you'll be able to spot in these market scenes. And then there's another Dodrio, but to get to him, you're going to get a much better view of both the Venusaur and the Dodrio around the 75, 76-second mark. Venusaur is very visible on the left-hand side of your screen, looking very calm and relaxed for such a big guy.
Yeah, he's taking up like so much space, and he doesn't seem to care that this is a very narrow passageway with a ton of people in it.
Yeah, I wonder what the rules and regulations are on like where you can bring your Pokemon. I mean, from this trailer, it seems like there are none. Like you can just take them wherever you want. Doesn't matter. They can come with you. And
we are seeing three Pokemon.
Shouldn't there be like an animal food restriction ruling or something?
Dude,
here?
No, man. We're seeing 3 Pokemon on top of this like little like food stand, like just having a conversation about who knows what.
Very, very fun. All right, so we're going to jump ahead. Detective Pikachu and Tim do some more dialogue. We do see a Pancham and a Squirtle poster. That's of note because Pancham is going to peek his head up soon. But first, at the 92-second mark, you're going to get a pack of Bulbasaur. And I like the fact that they're kind of like pack animaling it up here, running through the stream as Tim carries Sir Pikachu. And then you're also going to get some more lulls flying through in what I think is one of the most beautiful sequences in the trailer.
Yeah, you kind of referenced Jurassic Park a little bit. And like, yes, like Bulbasaur is kind of like a tiny dinosaur. We get it.
But Justice Smith is from the most recent movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of connections here to Jurassic Park, Jurassic World in some way. I love this scene. I think it's one of the coolest ones as well.
Immediately after, at the 93-second mark, that's when we get a look at the glorious Jigglypuff, a very hairy Jigglypuff, I'll say, with the cool swirl in the front, and then even like quite a bit of hair coming out of its ears, and then that angry expression that everyone loves at the 94-second mark. But that is Jigglypuff doing its best. We've got Charizard coming in at the 96-second mark, looking very ferocious. I think his design is one of the best in the entire trailer. It looks so like real and natural.
Zach, I don't want to live in a world where a giant flaming dragon is real and natural at all.
No. Yeah, well, it's pretty exciting. I've always been like a person who's like, man, I wish movie worlds were real. Probably not in reality. Like, it'd probably be very dangerous and terrifying, but...
Please, no Charizards in California.
Okay. Yeah, well, touche. Then, at the 97-second mark, we have Greninja coming in again. I think one of the coolest. This is back-to-back to me, probably the 2 best looking Pokemon in terms of like real creatures. I think they're so freaking awesome looking. You get 3 Greninja smacking in and hitting the screen. Then at the 98-second mark, you'll see Pancham for a split second at the bottom. He's hanging out very low. You get just his head, but he is definitely there alongside Tim and Detective Pikachu. You also have the Squirtle appearing at the same time on the right-hand side of your screen, which again references that movie poster that we mentioned a little bit ago. You also have a Rufflet on the left side of your screen. So a nice sequence with some more new guys hanging out and having a good time. As we continue, this one took a lot of time to spot and kind of figure out what's going on. And I'm still like looking at it over and over again because it's such a split-second frame. It is at the 99-second mark. There is what looks to be maybe even 2 Apom who jump into this explosion in the tunnel. For a second, I thought maybe there were 2 different Pokemon, and there still might be. I can't quite tell if behind the Apom there is something else moving there, or if it is just multiple Apom. It's such a short sequence. It literally lasts for less than a second. So It's just really hard to get in there and get finer detail, but there's definitely Apom hanging out below Pikachu on the right-hand side of the screen.
Yeah, man, that one's gonna be like one of the hardest ones to like show. I'll have the image of Apom like right next to it. You guys can kind of see the similar shapes there. But yeah, that one, if you blink, you miss.
Yeah, and if you're able to decipher anything else from this scene or any other scene that we may have missed, definitely let us know. We'd love some of you super sleuths out there to find another hidden Pokemon or two, because we've definitely come through this multiple times to find ones that we did not spot at the beginning. At the 105 second mark, a minute 45, you have Mr. Mime appearing in the dark, and then obviously he will be there for quite a while doing his shtick, looking awesome. I love his very like potato-y looking face. It just looks like, I don't know, it looks like it's squishy, but also wrinkly and just not that nice to touch.
Yeah, Mr. Mime has to be the creepiest looking Pokemon out of all of these to me. But this is a good showcase for some of the odder, like, what is a Jinx going to look like? Like,
right.
Some of these that are so strange, they still figured out a way to make them, like, cool looking, in my opinion.
For sure. And then the rest of the trailer is going to be just reappearances of Pikachu, Greninja, Charizard, Psyduck. So we won't specify all those timestamps because we have already seen those familiar faces. But there are a lot of Pokemon in this trailer, and it's pretty impressive how many they pack into such small segments, and it has me excited to do like almost like a I don't know, like a analytic watch through of this movie to see like where all the Pokemon are, how many there are, how many times they appear. That would be a ton of fun.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited to see how many they pack in like the full length movie. That's going to be exciting to note as well.
Absolutely. So in total, there are 23 Pokemon in this trailer of the real life actual Pokemon existing alive, hanging out variety. That is a ton, Gabe. I think when I first watched it, I was like, oh, there's like 7 or 8, and then you slow it down, you look through, and they actually pack a pretty hefty assortment and quite a nice variety too.
Yeah, multiple generations. It's not all Kanto based. I'm very happy to see that. You know, I want to ask you here, Zach, which ones stand out to you as the cooler looking ones?
As I mentioned, I think Charizard and Greninja are like the best realization. And Pikachu as well. I will give a special shout out to Mr. Mime, as we mentioned, for being weird, and then Psyduck. I mean,
you're taking them all.
I'm taking all of them. I also do like Pancham. I think he's a cute Pokemon, and I think Zach, they did a nice job with his little head there.
That's enough. You can't select all of them and leave them for me. I mean, but you left me the ones I like the most. You left me Jigglypuff. Yeah. You left me Psyduck.
There you go. There you go. I gave you your favorites. I think Joltik is also cool, just because he's so small, just sitting there. The Emolga are also incredibly cute. So I guess the good news is almost all of them look really great. I don't know anybody that doesn't look great. Even the little bits we see of like Braviary and Bouffalon, like they look good. Squirtle looks good. Charmander, as you mentioned, looks good. And Greninja, super hot. Liquid, fire, or water, and
I am a little freaked out by Venusaur. Like, he's like so big, he's just like hanging out. Like,
he's just so low and wide. Like, are any of these guys smelly? Do any of them potentially spread like illness, or do they have germs? Like, how do Poke germs coincide with human germs? That's probably something that we'll have to probably not find out. Actually, I don't think Justice Smith is going to give us the details on how to properly wash your Pokemon or keep yourself immune from whatever illnesses they may carry. But we're going to keep carrying on this conversation. Hopefully, we get more trailers with more Pokemon. We'll definitely be back if that happens. Let us know if you're able to sleuth anyone else out that we may have missed. The only scene that I keep rewatching is that Apom one. I do wonder if there is one more creature hiding in one of those very, very select frames. But let us know your take and your favorites in the comments down below. Who of these 23 are you most excited to see realized in this ridiculously awesome style? We cannot wait for the movie, and we cannot wait to see you all again soon. So make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on the latest and greatest from the Switch and Pokemon Let's Go coming this week. Also Detective Pikachu and whatever else happens with that. In the meantime, follow us on Twitter and Discord. There's links in the description below. For myself and Gabe, have a fantastic Poke-filled day. This one looks amazing, and so are you. We love you a lot. For myself and Gabe, Switch Force out.